There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the Name. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino is the Name, and I wanted to talk to you guys about whether or not you should start a trucking company right now in this market, in this climate. What does the trucking industry look like in the coming year, in the coming years? And there's a lot of different businesses that you can start. I like the trucking business. I like trucking businesses because it makes sense. Warren Buffett is like my favorite, I guess, investor, like guru that I just kind of like always read up on and stuff like that. And so, you know, he invests in the stock market, but basically his style of investing is investing in things that he can understand. If he can't understand the business, he doesn't invest in it, right? And what usually helps out as far as why people can be successful in trucking is just because they understand the business. We understand picking something up and dropping it off and getting paid for the transport of whatever goods that you're transporting. Everybody understands that. Now, the actual running the business is a different thing, but we all kind of understand like the premise or the reason why, you know, the business is making money. Not everybody, I guess, kind of understands some other businesses, right? Like a social media business, to be an influencer, not everybody really understands what it means to be an influencer, how to make money doing music, even like outside of shows. How do you get to making money from the shows? Like, how does streams work? Not everybody understands where the money is. And so with trucking, we all know that the money is in the picking up and dropping off. Somebody needs to move something and they can pay you for that service. That's why I like trucking, because it is easy for most people to understand, you know? And it's not necessarily a simple business because there's a lot of moving parts, but just understanding where the money is supposed to be, you can at least say, okay, I know where the money is supposed to be. Now, how do I get the money? Who is looking to get something picked up and dropped off? And so that's basics as far as how that business goes. You got to figure out the logistics. Does it make sense gas-wise, insurance-wise, distance-wise? You got to figure all those logistics out. But for the most part, we understand that the business is about picking something up and dropping something off. So trucking, I like trucking for that reason. When it comes to like real estate can be great as well. You know, most of us understand that we need to stay somewhere. So it's an easy business to kind of understand from the surface level. People pay rent. You pay rent, somebody else pay rent, whatever. We're familiar with people paying rent. So it's an easy business to understand as far as being like a landlord or something like that. Now, again, all of the other things, the landlord laws and tenant laws and all that kind of stuff, that's more in the business side, like, you know, the actual running of the business. But we understand the simplicity of somebody pay rent, you collect rent, or buy a house low, fix it up, and then sell it for more, you know, than what we paid for it and the amount of stuff we put into the house. So that's why I like real estate. But real estate, you know, it's an interesting time right now. Like, most people are trying to get liquid. This video right now is being recorded in 2020. If you end up watching this in 2022 or 2023 or sometime in the future, right now, there's a lot of uncertainty in, say, real estate. Like, you know, they're evicting people. A lot of tenants are getting put out right now. So there's probably going to be a lot of houses entering the market. In certain areas, the home values are already coming down, and in other areas they're still going up. So it's just a lot of uncertainty of like what's going to be coming onto the market in the next, say, year. Right now, you might still be able to get in and flip some flip some houses, do some good stuff or whatever, but we don't know exactly when that's going to change, if things are going to slow down next year. If you're in a hot market, maybe that market stays hot. If you're in we just don't know. It's a lot of uncertainty in that aspect. But, for the most part, if you get a really good deal on a flip, you still should be fine. But it's just a lot of stuff that should be entering the market, but we don't know yet. But looking at trucking, right? Trucking is still promising because we know that there's a problem with, first of all, with employees, right? Like even truck drivers, a lot of truck drivers aren't even accepting jobs right now. It's hard to find drivers. And it's hard for some people to find drivers. I definitely hear a lot of people who start trucking companies say that it's hard to find drivers. Now, if you already drive or if you already have some people who are in mind, I wouldn't even go into trucking without knowing someone who potentially would drive for you. Maybe more than one person. And I wouldn't go out just starting a company and then start looking for a driver, because it's a lot of companies out here looking for drivers right now. And maybe you have family members, brothers, cousins, friends who may already want to drive or something like that. But if you do have drivers in place, and so long as you make sure the driver is happy, because this business, you need to make sure your driver is happy because they have a lot of options, okay? So, or if you're going to drive yourself, but make sure the driver is happy, but you have a lot of potential income because rates are still climbing. And they've climbed, okay, so it said, I'm looking at this, I guess, what's this? These early predictions from some websites. And on this one website, it said that if the current trajectory holds, 2021 full mile metrics will be up. Let's see. It says revenue per mile, excluding fuel, was up 17.6%. So, that's 17% increase, and it's expected to go up even more. Another 3 to 5% in rates should go up another 3 to 5% in 2022. Okay, so I want to say that's probably just keeping up with inflation, but I don't even know what inflation is right now. Inflation might be crazy, but there's going to be even more money, more upside in 2022, which is always good. You never want to. Now these are just predictions, right? But you don't want to go into a situation where you're starting a business where where either the business is not expected to increase or is expected to decrease. You don't want to go into a business where the next year it's expected to go down because of new technology or people just going away from a certain thing. Like, you don't want to be starting a movie gallery or a Blockbuster store where people go in and rent movies in 2022, because people have gone away from that style of viewership. People watch it at home on Netflix and Hulu and Amazon and things like that. So you don't want to be doing that knowing that market is down. So to see that trucking is still rising, and even with real estate right now, real estate is still fine right now, but it's a lot of uncertainty about 2022, 2023. It's going to be a lot of probably houses entering the market because landlords who would have been sold have not been able to sell. The reason why real estate has gone up to be so high is because there wasn't a lot of houses available to balance out, inventory. Like, it wasn't a lot of houses available, so it wasn't a lot for sale. And if it's not a lot for sale, demand drives the price. So it's not a lot of supply, so demand is higher because there are people who absolutely need to move right now, and they need a place to move to, and they're in competition. It's 100 people bidding on the same house, then there's an issue. Or 25 people bidding on the same house, 10 people bidding on the same house, that's a problem. But when there's a lot of inventory and people are sitting on houses because people have so many options that they can just sit around and decide what they want and, try to negotiate down. People were bidding over the asking price. Let's say I got a house that's worth 300,000, and I might put it on the market for 350. Right now, the appraisal is going to come back at 300,000. There were people still bidding up to 380 on a house that the valuation is only 300,000. By the appraiser. So these people have to come out of pocket $80,000, or the seller will have to meet them somewhere in the middle where it would make sense. But because the bank is only going to loan up to the appraised value, but people were coming out of pocket, retirement accounts, or maybe they just had the money, but people were coming out of pocket and still doing that. And that was also driving the market up, because now this house just sold for 380 or 350 that's only worth 300 in that area. Now it drives the price up on the rest of the houses, because now it's really that market. And that's basically what it was. And now there's going to be a lot more inventory entering the market. So, it's just going to be an interesting time to just kind of see. But right now, I don't know. Maybe there's still a little time where, it's not so many houses in the market right now. But eventually, I think that it may slow down some. There may be a housing bubble. But, it's still just a lot to watch, because nothing is as it seems, apparently, with this pandemic and just the world right now. It's just an interesting place. But because it is a little uncertainty, I would not go into, I would probably still try to do a flip this year and maybe the early part of next year. But 2022, 2023, you would definitely want to make sure you get a good deal and you put equity into the house by, when you're going in and doing remodeling, make sure you're putting the equity in. So buy something as cheap as you can get it, or a good value. Because even if it's $100,000 house, but it's in an area where houses going for 250, then, that makes sense, right? But, just be, cautious and get with some people like Kelly and Gene. They're also on my channel. They have a YouTube channel called KP and Gino J. So go to their channel and reach out to those guys, because they know a lot about what houses to buy. And I know they know a lot about the markets and things like that. But I would probably, if I had to decide I'm starting a business, which one am I starting, just based off of projections and things that I understand, because I see there's things still need to be moved. A lot of things are still not in place. There's been manufacturing holdups because of microchips not being around, so they can put them in cars and all kind of other stuff. And there's machinery that still needs to be moved around that hasn't been moved because they haven't been able to manufacture. Even the manufacturing of the wood to build the houses has all been on a holdup. That stuff has to move, and it has to move by semi trucks mainly. Semi trucks, hot shot trucks. It has to move by. You got dump trucks that still, because there's going to be so much construction, there's going to have to be dump trucks on site to deal with this dirt and all kind of stuff. To me, it makes sense as to why there is money going to be in trucking. And of course, if you only have, let's say if you only have 5 trucks that are available in an area, and you have a necessity to move 20 trucks worth of items, then those 5 trucks is going to say, okay, well, who wants me more, right? They have that ability to drive the rates up. To say, no, I don't want to take $3. I want to take 4. I want 5. I want 6, something like that. So it makes sense as to how the cost is going to go up. But anyway, right now you're watching Casino Is a Name. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Do you think that it is a good time still to start a trucking company, or do you think the time is past? Right now you're watching Casino Is a Name, man, and I'm out. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino is the Name, and if you wanted to know how I started my trucking business, I have an ebook called Big Shot, Hot Shot Volume 1, Own Your Trucking Authority. It's a great book, 5-star reviews. The link will be in the description below. Go get that. Yeah.
Beat me up, Scotty. Me and
her together, we just count it up. Money on my mind, I can't get enough. Don't play with my money, you don't want no beef. Cause I come from the bottom, I come from the street. When she first saw me, she said, who is that? When a man saw me, he called me a threat. I'm the one that really live with a rap. They ain't never did it, they ain't really trap.
You say you want to be successful, but what's stopping you? Can't nothing stop you from being successful except for you. You standing in your own way. I came from the bottom. I ain't know nothing but the grind. You can't tell me nothing about that. I caught the bus at Basin Street Projects in Tallahassee, Florida. You hear me? I used to think $1 million would last me my whole life. I'd have made that and spent that. $1 million ain't enough. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the Name.